Live. This is Class Online School where we discuss educational stuffs. We run the Nigerian curriculum from JS1 to SS3. We discuss sex education on this channel, and we talk about counseling section where we talk about issue arising. So welcome. Are you new to the channel? Please subscribe if you are not subscribed. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to answer a question. Somebody asks, what advice should I give to a 16 years daughter to make her run away from sex? Okay, so the question has to do with an individual who have a 16 years old daughter that wants her to have advice on sex education that will discourage the child from becoming sexually active before or during this teen age. Okay, so number one thing I will want to talk about is teach your teenager sex education. Let them have a knowledge of sex education. To be informed is to be armed. Once they are not armed, once they are not informed, they become deformed. So once your teenager that is at the age of 16, below or above, gets to understand what sex education is, it is left for the child now to make a decision, either to stay away from sex or to get involved in it. But the child needs your guide. So that means you have to be a proper guide to the child in order to stay away from sex. So to your 16 years old daughter, first of all, have a communication closeness with her. And in this communication closeness, discuss sex education. Teach the child what is sex education. Teach the child puberty. Teach the child things to expect in puberty. Teach the child what happens to her body. Tell her the changes that goes on in the body. Tell her that once these changes start occurring, if the body is not well taken care of, the child can get pregnant, and that can jeopardize her future. Can become a teen parent, a teen mother, and then have other sexually transmitted diseases. Not only that, it can hurt the future, because if the present is not well handled, the future will be dysfunctional. So first of all, have a knowledge of sex education. And then the approach you will use in teaching this child sex education is the abstinence approach. We have different approaches to sex education. I will talk about the different approaches in subsequent edition. But in teaching this young girl sex education, in order for her to stay away from sex, use the abstinence approach. That's to say that you don't want to talk bad about sex. You don't want to picture sex as something very, very awkward or bad, but you want to teach the child that in as much as it is not totally wrong, there are rightful age for it to be done. There is rightful age for you to be sexually active. So don't tell the child that it is wrong to get involved in sexual activity, but there is rightful age to get involved in it. Don't paint it the awkward way. Teach it as it is. Be truthful, be open-minded, and be knowledgeable to impart as a caregiver, as a counselor, as a teacher, and as a parent. Let the child know that at this age, it's awkward for you to be sexually active. It is wrong for you to be sexually active because you cannot handle the consequences that comes with it. Now, cite examples of things that can happen to the child if the child did not wait. Teach the child to wait. Teach the child that when she waits, she will be able to handle her body and take care of things that will come up in the future. Like if she waits, she will not fall into the danger of becoming a teen parent. The child can avoid future dangers, like I've said before. They teach them to visualize certain situation. Now, at this time, they will want to date. Now, let them visualize in their dating process, what will they expect? If the opposite sex you are dating at 16 tells you this or tells you that, what should be your response? Now, let's take, for example, a statement. If you love me, you will have sex with me. Let the child know that, and let the girl know what to respond. Let the girl child know that if that is your request for dating you, that means I am not ready to date. Now, by the time that girl responds to that, this individual will know that I am up for an intelligent person. So teach your girls how to be intelligent, how to answer intelligently, how to analyze situation. Have a visualization section with them. Visualize different scenarios. You were once in their shoe. You've passed that stage. You know what you have passed through during that stage, and you know how to teach them how to pass through this stage. You know what the opposite sex asks for. If you are dating me, sleep with me. If you are dating, if you know you love me, go to bed with me. Then let the girl know that this is the answer that you can give. If you love me, you have to wait until the right time. So this is what you have to teach them, how to respond smartly. Okay, if you are joining us on this live, the question we are answering is a question asked by one of our audience. How can I make my 16 years old daughter stay away from sex? So we are discussing how you as a caregiver, as a parent, will be able to help the child to know what to do in order to stay away from such activity. Then, after visualizing some of this scenario with the child, tell the child, think of potential dangers they can find themselves. Potential dangers like going to white parties, abusing alcohol, that can make you consent without being at the right, without having the right frame of mind. So teach them to stay away from white parties that are uncontrollable. Teach them to stay away from alcohol abuse. At 16, they are not even supposed to take alcohol. Teach them to stay away from drugs, to make them have a clear mental vision. So that's another thing. Excuse me. You can teach them. So sorry. Then give them possible demand that the opposite sex will have. One minute, please. Sorry for that break. I think I choked a little. Okay. So let's go back. So give them possible demand that the opposite sex can demand for, and give them possible answer they can give. That's what I was talking about. Tell them how to respond when somebody asks for sex. If it's somebody they consider a boyfriend, when somebody they consider dating, just a friend, they think they are very close, and they ask for it, for sex or having such intimacy, prepare them of what they have to respond. I am not ready. Why are you not ready? I think it's not the right time for me to get involved in sexual activity. Bring out questions that you will prepare your girl's child. Prepare them to answer. If you don't prepare them, they might not know what to answer. So you have to prepare them beforehand. If a boy loves you, the opposite sex loves you, It is not giving them sex that will make them love you. No. Let them know that that is not the real deal. So if somebody confuse you that sex is love, let them know that that is not true. So teach them, educate them beforehand, and tell them what to respond, and let them use their initiative. Listen to them, air their view. The next one I want to talk about is discuss about your mistake if you've made such mistake. As a parent, as a caregiver, as a counselor, as a teacher, as a well-meaning adult that they ask or that they seek advice from. If you have made the mistake of becoming sexually active at this age and the consequences of what you suffer, relate it to them. If you know of anybody around you that are suffering the consequences of becoming sexually active at this their age, relate it to them. Experience is the best teacher. When they have seen someone's experience and they see what it has led the individual to, they will know how to handle themselves, because they wouldn't want to fall victim the same way the other person have fall victim to such situation. So discuss real life situation, give example of yourself or other people that have fallen victim because they could not handle their sexual urge. Then set limits and boundaries around your children. Tell them to set sexual boundaries around their life. Tell them when a touch is too bad. Educate them on what and what they should do to protect themselves from the opposite sex. When you set these boundaries, it will help them. Then set boundaries or have curfews in the home on time they go out and when they come in. Get to know their friends. Get to know who they hang out with. Know where they are at every point in time. Even if you can't know where they are at every point in time, know where they are. Make sure that you know where they are, so that when they stray away, you know it is their own consequences they have to answer for. They have to take responsibility of their action. You tell them stay in school, don't follow friends out, and they refuse to stay in school, follow friends out at the age of 16, they should know what is right and wrong. And whatever consequences comes to them, they will face it. But first of all, set boundaries, healthy boundaries to help them. Advise them on white parties, advise them on going out late, advise them on bad associates, advise them on peer pressure, have a talk around this area, help them set sexual boundaries, help them set boundaries on when a touch is bad, help them set boundaries on when the opposite sex is asking for too much and how to respond. This will help them to be better equipped to know what to respond at every point in time when sexual issues comes to their table. Then help them to know that alcohol have certain age that it is adequate for them, and that they should stay away from alcohol and drugs, because when they are not clear-minded, their thinking has been interfered with alcohol, with drugs. They will not know when they indulge in such activity. So set boundaries on their use of alcohol, and let them know that friends who take alcohol or alcohol abusers and drug users are not supposed to be part of their friends. Remember, we are still talking about how to help your teenage girl within the ages of 16 to stay away from sex. Then get to know their friends. I think I've talked about that. Know their whereabouts. Even if you can't know exactly where they are at every point in time, know where they are and know where you've sent them to. That's why we said if they are in school, know that they are in school. If they are learning a trade, know they are learning a trade. If they are with you, they are with you. If you send them on an error, know the error you've sent them. So know their whereabouts. And then be a friend. They communicate better with you when you are their friend. They will tell you the person that is harassing them sexually if you are their friend. If a neighbor, a friend, an acquaintance is harassing them sexually, they will tell you if you are their friend. But if you are not their friend, all your conversation gets awkward when it's just starting. It becomes a problem. That's why on this channel we say, be your child's friend. Make sure the communication line is open. Seek them. Don't judge them. Don't be too judgmental that you don't want to listen. Don't yell and shout. That's not the right way to teach a child. Listen and know where to come in. Okay? Learn to be a good listener. Be their best friend. Provide for them physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Don't let them seek for love in another man's hand. Give them your love. Some of these young individuals are seeking for love and they fall into bad hands. That's why they become sexually active. So if you want your teenager to stay away from sex, make sure that you provide for the child financially. Financial benefit is involved. Physical benefit is involved. They want um they want to they want you to be there for them. So I hope I've been able to answer this question: how to make your teenager stay away from sex. 1, make sure you teach them sex education. 2, make sure you visualize different scenario with them. 3, map out question on how to answer the opposite sex. 4, have an open communication and be their best friend. 5, make provision for them financially, physically, and emotionally. 6, help them to see the dangers of white parties, bad associates, and peer pressure. 7, help them see that use of drugs and abusing of alcohol is wrong at their age. 8, let them know that sex have a rightful age to get involved in it. Even if it is not bad, they have to know the rightful age for them to get involved. That as a teenager, 16 years is too early for them to get involved. Okay, so be teach them by example. Use real life scenario. Use your mistake if there is any. Use other people's mistake. Picture an event. Picture a scenario. Let them learn from other people's mistake, not their own mistake. Okay, have an open communication with them. Let them be your friend. I repeat, let them be your friend. Have an open communication. Don't let the communication line breach. If it breach, they will run away. I hope I've been able to answer the person that asked this question, and I hope you find value for the class. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to us. Follow us if you're not following us. Please share the videos to those you think will benefit. And if you are 16 years or below in this channel, you are still a teenager in this channel, please stay away from sexual activity. It is not for you. Wait until the rightful age. On this channel, we preach abstinence. On this channel, we help you understand the implication of you getting sexually active before your rightful age. There are consequences. I think I've talked a lot about the consequences, but I will devote to one episode to the consequences of becoming sexually active. Don't start too early because it has a consequence in the future. Make your future bright. Hold your future in your hands. You own your own life. You own your own life. You have to take responsibility for the actions you take. At the age of being a teenager, you know the difference between right and wrong. And you know when to say no and when to run away. So please don't let anybody cajole you into getting involved in sexual activity when you are not ready. As a teenager, stay away. As a teenager, abstinence is your best option. And so please, parents' guidance, guide them properly. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of Class Online School. I'll see you in our next.